This is Cutting Down the Nets Thursday, January 26th. Trying to get back in the routine of daily videos, and if it's going to turn a profit, we're going to keep showing up, that's for sure. So yeah, felt good to make money today. It has been a grind this season. There was closing line value on every single play from yesterday's video, and it looked like Tulane was going to let us down overtime, but got it done. So kind of fun. Moving on to today, Thursday. This is where we're at for the year. Again, we're going to run the efficiency model, narrow down to a pool of plays, and then find out what we like about those plays and what we don't like. So here's my big board for today, technically sorted by value, but you'll see I've updated a few lines right before I started recording, so I'll touch on that in a bit. So the Paddy play showing the most value is Milwaukee on the road at Wright State. Paddy number 2.7, but the Paddy median even a little better at 7.2. Again, I use this directionally. Doesn't mean I think that Milwaukee's going to necessarily win by 6, 7 points, but it does mean that I see value on plus 4.5. So shot quality has these teams nearly identical in the standings. So I do think that Milwaukee is likely, I put in here, above their skis quite a bit. They're owed some regression. The line reflects, an even shot quality matchup. So what I mean by this is I do think Milwaukee's overvalued, but I do think that line is big enough that it kind of accounts for that, and that this line should be closer to a pick'em is really what it comes down to. So don't be blinded by this value. I'm a straight unit better. I bet 1 unit per every game, so it's not like this is my favorite play on the board. I have not bet it yet. I'm still pondering that one a little bit. Wright State does live in the mid-range, which I hate, but there are a few teams that are decent at it. UCLA is famous for it. Like, they have found that to be the inefficiency to exploit. They're going to get shots that, most teams want you to shoot those, and they're good at them. And Wright State has shown an efficiency in that area as well. So I still lean Milwaukee here. I think it's thinner than what Paddy indicates, but I think it's still an okay play. Next up, Portland at LMU. So what's happening here is Portland's defense is graded by shot quality as 137th on the year, and KenPom has it at 209. So that's really why you're seeing a SQ number in the threes. The line is split between SQ and Paddy. Typically, when that's the case, I'm sitting out. LMU likely showing as a strong Paddy play. If you're going to win at the Kennel, at Gonzaga, that's going to affect your numbers a little bit as well. Next up, let me freeze this pane. I think I forget to do that every time I display this darn sheet, so give me just a second to do that. Okay, Lipscomb, Jacksonville State is next. So Paddy's showing this as about 8 points. Shot quality has Lipscomb about 70 spots lower than KenPom, and shot quality has Jacksonville State about 50 points higher than KenPom. So what we have here is the regression monster set to come, and that's why they have Jacksonville State favored. The shot quality side would, and efficiencies are favoring the Lipscomb side. So what that means is Lipscomb has likely made shots, or their opponent has missed shots that they shouldn't, and the opposite's true for Jacksonville State. So I'll sit that game out. Now, here's the deal: if, for whatever reason, Jacksonville State, Paddy had Jacksonville State at let's just say -1 or -11, whatever it is. The opposite of this, it'd be an absolute smash play, but it's not like I'm going to play the Jacksonville State side just because of shot quality when the efficiencies have shown, value on the other side. So, again, just sitting it out. If you've watched enough of these videos, you know that I am an Iowa fan. That does not affect my Iowa betting. It's usually actually worse because I'm a curmudgeon and usually think the team is much worse than they are. So Paddy here has Michigan State by about 8. The line is just under 3, and shot quality favors the Iowa side pretty significantly here. I think both teams will hunt for transition. That's what they always do, and both have been good at limiting transition according to Hoop Math. Iowa's efficiency number is very bad because they've been getting torched from deep. So shot quality would indicate that that is a bit unlucky, is how I'm reading that data. I'll likely sit that game out for mental health reasons anyway. Louisiana Monroe at Marshall. Early in the season, I was like, holy cow, if a D'Antoni team is also going to defend, yikes. This could be the sleeper. But we're starting to see that D'Antoni defense show up from time to time. So the line is 16. ULM is bad. They are. Not a fan of Louisiana Monroe, but 16 points is a lot of points. From a matchup perspective, Marshall can and will win the boards. They can and will turn you over, which could give them a lot of extra opportunities. Could be one of those games where it's like, geez, Marshall had 16 more shots than Louisiana Monroe, and that's a problem. But the data does support the Louisiana Monroe side. Both shot quality and Paddy favor that, and I think this could be the Marshall ceiling. I think they entered the year probably in the 190s in the KenPom Torvik type of analytics sites, and currently sitting at like 70. So they've made up so much ground, and shot quality is not buying it. So that's a good sign that could be the ceiling. But it's a tough matchup. I don't know if that's the spot I want to attack or not. Here's a tricky one. Arizona at Wazoo. So Arizona's 17-3, Wazoo 9-12. Most people will see this line and be like, "Oh my gosh, that's weird." But here's what's going on. So it will feel uncomfortable. It's right now 5.5 at some, 5 on some others. In fact, let me play a little game with you here, and I'll kind of show you how to identify some values. So let's just pull up BetStamp here, and let's find that game. It's a nice little exercise because I know what I would expect with this game. Okay, so here are all the books. There are better odd screens. It's just I had this one up. So Bovada has Wazoo at 5. Okay, you see a 6, but it's a bit juiced here. Circa's at a 5. So if you're at a book with a 5.5, bet MGM, I would expect them to eventually go closer to the Circa number. Now it's possible Circa takes money on Arizona and moves the line. That's certainly possible. But if you're seeing a 4.5, I would not be taking the plus 4.5. I think you should be patient there. But at the plus 6, I wish that wasn't juiced. That would be the play, but still could make that. Even half points don't like to buy. But that's just an example of I think ultimately there's been enough research that shows books just copy the Circa line eventually. So back to this game. So yes, Arizona's 17-3. Shot quality has their should be record or their shot quality record at 13-7. They have the 9-12 Wazoo teams should be record at 12-9. So looking at shots taken, not the results of those shots, but a process-oriented approach, you would have a 13-7 Arizona team on the road at 12-9 Wazoo, and the home team getting 5.5 points. Starting to sound a lot better, isn't it? So it doesn't always work out, but this is what dreams are made of, where you get that perfect storm of the team with 4 extra wins versus a team with 3 extra losses. And I think it's a good situational spot. Wazoo's back home. Just got off the mountain road trip. Yeah, I like that one, but I'm getting greedy on the number. Okay, Utah Tech, Tarleton State. If you follow me on Twitter, I tracked a injury for Utah Tech, which is peak virginity, I would say. Hey. So Utah Tech was without their senior point guard, Cam Gooden, for 5 games. They got beat in all of them. So if you look at their season-long efficiency numbers, they're at a 106 offense and a 104 defense. If you remove the Cam Gooden missed games, they go to a 108 and a 99, which is a pretty strong profile. Now, I like Tarleton State. I've played them quite a few times this year, but I think the market is not caught up to Utah Tech at full strength. But yeah, who knows what this line will do? I played 4. So when you see the green, that means I've already bet it. I can't turn around. Now, next up, Georgia State, App State. I don't like laying points. I don't like laying points in games that have pace concerns, and I think this will be a slower game. But over the course of the season, App State has shown that they value possessions more than Georgia State, protect the ball a little better. Georgia State's just really sloppy. And not only are they trending down from an efficiency standpoint, they're also trending down in terms of the quality of shots they've taken and allowed. So just feels like a buy spot for me, but I don't love laying 2 possessions with a team that isn't, real strong. So that's where I'm at there. I played it. Can't go back now. Queens, Florida Gulf Coast. Florida Gulf Coast is in free fall, even though they've played really strong defense from 3-point range recently. Typically, that's pretty lucky. But if this is showing as a Paddy play and Gulf Coast is running good from 3-point defense, that makes me feel even better about the play. I do think this is a high variance game, though. There's probably going to be a lot of 3-point attempts on both sides. San Diego at Pepperdine. As a kid who played Coach K on Sega Genesis growing up, yes, I'm dating myself a bit there. George Zedek was like a cheat code for the UCLA team, and it feels so weird that his kid plays basketball. So, Jan Zedek plays for Pepperdine. But here, we are on San Diego. So, interesting here. Paddy has this as close to a pick-em shot quality, very close as well, even though Pepperdine's favored by 4. And Paddy's showing as a play, even though San Diego has allowed 24 of the last 42 3-point attempts to go in. Normally that would kill your Paddy number and have to account for that and be like, well, they're better than this. They've just gotten torched from deep. This is showing as a play, even though they got torched from deep. So that is interesting to me. And I played San Diego +4. Austin P at Kennesaw State, line around 11. Shot quality right around the market, and Paddy a little stronger, but not much pace here. Both teams can force turnovers, and my concern here is that Austin P has an average possession length of 19.4 seconds. That's the 341st slowest. So if you're laying points against a team that can turn you over and hold the ball, it can be a frustrating experience. So I'm concerned about that, but there is a big rebound edge. You're going to need it in a game like this, because if you aren't hitting shots, Austin P is just going to kill clock. So if you're down 4, just think of how many possessions that's going to take and how much time that's going to take to make that up. This is not going to be necessarily a game of back and forth with lots of runs and things like that. I think Austin P can limit that. So have not bet that yet, but certainly under consideration. I'm curious to see what the number does. This next line didn't make sense to me. I bet it. Doesn't always work out when that's the case, but Eastern Kentucky at Bellarmine. Paddy right around 5'6", shot quality right around 6. Torvik 154, 189, and 151 for Eastern Kentucky. Torvik 253, KenPom 258, shot quality 305 for Bellarmine. I don't see this at all. This line is set as if these teams were much closer in ranks. So kind of interesting there. Montana Sac State, super slow game. Sacramento State has major turnover concerns, but Montana does not pressure the ball at all, so I don't think they can take advantage of that, which is going to help Sacramento State beat their median projection. So I'll sit that out. SFPA at Fairleigh Dickinson. There's some big turnover differences here, meaning SFPA coughs up the ball a lot. Fairdick can turn you over. That on top of shot quality, I'll sit that one out. This next one has my interest. You'll see that Paddy and shot quality, like the Cal State Fullerton side, shot quality has UCI at 129th overall and Cal State Fullerton at 142 overall. So very close, and you're getting close to a possession for the home team. They also can turn you over, Cal State Fullerton. The Paddy median at 11.2 with a line around 10 was a little too close for me to even really consider Tennessee Martin against Lindenwood. Good luck figuring out Oregon. Like, I don't get it. So that line's 5. No one has made a 3 versus Colorado in like 3 weeks. Like, if you look at their data, it's been like 24 out of 99 or something like that. So that's really helping their Paddy number. And yeah, I'm just going to sit that out. I haven't got Colorado right this year. High quality, low major game here. Longwood and Radford. Paddy around 5, shot quality close to a pick'em. Both these teams are like mirror images of each other in terms of turnover rates, turnover protection, offensive rebound, defensive rebound, pace, everything. Should be a good game. I just lean on the efficiency side of Paddy here, have not played it yet. The opposite of that quality basketball would be McNeese State, Incarnate Word. It's number 315 versus number 346. And you look at matchups like that, and there's just red everywhere. So, yeah, kind of gross. Paddy identified this Morehead State as a play, shot quality kind of there too. It's getting a little thin here. We're around 3.3 points of value at this point, and it just seems a little 3-point driven for recent play for Morehead State. Coastal Carolina, this was 13, so this has dropped to 12. That kind of puts it out of play for me, and the Coastal defense is so bad. I'm not sure I can go there. It doesn't feel like the best matchup here, even though there are some indications it could be a decent play. One last one I will talk about here is Elon. 0-18, Elon. Whew. Shot quality record, though, of 6-12, and Hofstra is 12-8, and their shot quality record is 8-12. And yeah, you're seeing that close to a pick on the Paddy median's close here. I mean, there's not much value, but yeah, Elon at home, 0-18. One time, baby. Let's make it happen. So overall, I've played these plays on the left-hand side: Utah Tech, App State, Queens, San Diego, Eastern Kentucky. If I had regrets about any of those, it's laying 2 possessions, but with App State. But hey, it happened. It's fine. I do like everything else, and numbers should stay there until morning. Other ones I am considering are Milwaukee, as I mentioned, against Wright State, ULM, hoping that Marshall has hit its ceiling, but I don't love that matchup. Wazoo, I'm really just waiting for a number just to see if maybe that could get greater than 2 possessions. Sometimes I sweat that stuff for a long time, keep checking, like, oh, what's this book got? What's this book? And then, Wazoo wins by 7 or they lose by 19, and like it didn't matter at all. And sometimes it matters, but not the end of the world. I do like Cal State Fullerton against UCI, Radford in a close one, but may go money line there instead of laying 1.5. And give me the winless Elon team in a decent shot quality matchup against Hofstra. This is Cutting Down the Nets. Let's stay high.